Dhul Qarnayn, a name that echoes across history, theology, and the annals of human imagination. Was he a king, a prophet, or perhaps a mythical warrior? His story, a tale of journeys to distant lands, acts of justice, and wisdom steeped in divine guidance, has been the subject of intrigue for centuries. To understand Dhul Qarnayn, we must begin with the origin of his name. Dhul Qarnayn, often translated as the two-horned one, sparks vivid imagery. Some suggest this refers to his dominion over both the eastern and western extremities of the known world. Beyond the name lies a story immortalized in the Quran, where Dhul Qarnayn is presented not just as a man of might, but as a figure guided by divine wisdom, tasked with aiding humanity and upholding justice. But who was Dhul Qarnayn, and why does his legend stand the test of time? Born into antiquity, Dhul Qarnayn is believed by many to have walked the earth during a time of both great turmoil and unyielding wonders. Scholars often debate his identity. Could he have been Alexander the Great, the Macedonian leader who conquered vast swaths of the ancient world? Or perhaps Cyrus the Great, the Persian king celebrated for his fairness and diplomatic genius? These theories persist, yet Dhul Qarnayn's story transcends any historical individual, becoming a symbol of guidance, humility, and responsibility under God. The Quran in Surah Al-Kahf introduces Dhul Qarnayn as a just ruler who embarked on 3 monumental journeys. These voyages tell us as much about his character as they do about his exploits. First, he traveled westward until he reached a place where the sun appeared to set in a murky pool. It was there that he encountered a people who stood at the mercy of his authority. With immense power at his fingertips, he was faced with a choice: to punish or to show mercy. Relying on divine guidance, chose justice. He declared that those who wrongfully acted would be held accountable for their deeds, but those who believed and did good would receive rewards. And thus his first journey concluded with a balance of justice and mercy, led by divine wisdom. From the west, he set his sights eastward, journeying until he encountered a people exposed to the sun without any shelter. Here, rather than imposing his will or disrupting their ways, he observed, respected, and moved onward, recognizing that leadership does not mean conquering every land, but understanding and celebrating the diversity of creation. But perhaps Dhul Qarnayn's most famous task came during his third journey. Traveling between 2 massive mountains, he came across a struggling community besieged by the terrifying tribes of Gog and Magog. The people, desperate and afraid, pleaded for protection. With wisdom and engineering genius, Dhul Qarnayn devised a colossal barrier, a structure famously referred to as the Wall of Gog and Magog. Using iron and molten copper, he constructed a fortification so strong that it kept the destructive forces at bay. This was a true act of leadership, not exploitation, not domination, but solving a problem for the benefit of the oppressed. What made Dhul Qarnayn's story so remarkable is not just his military and tactical achievements, but his reliance on divine guidance. Every decision he made, every step he took, was rooted in a sense of higher purpose. He did not seek personal glory or eternal monuments. Dhul Qarnayn sought to uphold the principles of fairness and humility that connected him to his creator. Many questions surround Dhul Qarnayn's death. How did this great and righteous figure depart from the world? Like his origin, his death is cloaked in mystery, shrouded by the sands of time. Some believe he retreated to live the remainder of his days in solitude, reflecting on his deeds and awaiting divine judgment. Others think his extraordinary life was met with an extraordinary return to his creator, transcending the earthly realm entirely. What is known, however, is that the legacy of Dhul Qarnayn did not fade with his passing. His impact lives on, not as a memory carved into stone, but as a lesson buried in the verses of Revelation. So why does Dhul Qarnayn's story matter today? Because it speaks to all of us, rulers and citizens, young and old, leaders and followers. It reminds us that real strength lies not in control, but in compassion. That wisdom means listening as much as it means speaking, and that leadership at its best is rooted in service and guided by higher principles. In a world often defined by division and strife, Dhul Qarnayn's story offers a timeless message. It beckons us to look beyond our selfish ambitions, to rise above our differences, and to build a world fortified not just by iron and copper, but by justice, empathy, and faith. Dhul Qarnayn was more than a ruler, more than a conqueror, and more than a figure suspended between myth and history. He was a reminder a reminder that greatness is not measured by the lands we rule, but by the hearts we touch and the principles we uphold. His story, though set in ancient times, resonates with the challenges and hopes of today, calling us to reflect, to act, and to lead with purpose. And perhaps as we chart our own journeys through life, we too can embody a fraction of the wisdom, courage, and humility that define Dhul Qarnayn.